Hello student, hope you all are well, fit and fine. So here in today's lecture we will discuss here about the next topic of chapter current electricity. This topic is very important for your examination. So the topic name which I will discuss today in front of you is Kirchhoff's circuital law, or you can say Kirchhoff's laws also. Got it? So in 1942, to understand the complicated circuit and to calculate the value of current, resistance and voltage in complicated circuit, Kirchhoff gave the two laws which are known as Kirchhoff's circuital law or Kirchhoff's law. So he gave two laws. He gave two laws. First is Kirchhoff's current law, or we can say here Kirchhoff's junction law, or in short you can say Kirchhoff's first law, or you can say Kirchhoff's first law. So dear student, according to first law of Kirchhoff, he tells us about the total current in a junction. Means that suppose in the given complicated circuit I have a junction where n number of wires are meeting, carrying current I1, I2, I3, I4 and so on. So in this way, suppose here this is a junction and I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, I6, I have drawn the current like that, in which the current I1, I6 and I5 are coming toward the junction. This is our junction point in the given circuit. Junction point in the given circuit. Now if you have any confusion where we have junction and how we will show the junction point, so think about the resistances which we have taken in parallel combination form. Think about it. So this way, this is called the junction, in which supposed to be current is moving like that. So this point A and this point B are called junction, in which we have more than two wires are joining or connecting, or the supply of electricity is gone somewhere through this point. Okay, so this is called our junction. So here we have these currents, in which some of the current is flowing toward the junction and some of the current is flowing away from the junction. So Kirchhoff give a statement regarding his first law. He states that the algebraic sum of the total current meeting at a junction in the electric circuit or in the circuit is 0. It means we can say the algebraic sum of current sigma I is equal to 0. So to show this result, we will write some information from the given question. Let I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I6 are the currents meeting at a junction point, supposed to be this point I consider O. This is junction point O, in which we can say I1, I6 and I5 are the currents flowing toward the junction, whereas I2, I3, I4 are flowing away from the junction. You can see the diagram. From the junction we can write. Okay, got it, student? So here, if we use the sign convention for them, it means that the current which is coming toward the junction or which is flowing toward the junction taken as positive, and the current which is flowing away from the junction is taken as negative. So by using sign convention, rule, we can say the current flowing toward the junction, the current flowing towards the junction taken as positive, and the current flowing away from the junction taken as negative. So on the basis of this rule, dear student, I will write the condition of electric current. Let's see what comes. So therefore, total current at junction will be what it will be. It will be the sum of, see here, sigma I is the sum of I1. We can write like that, total current. Later on we will write sigma I1 is positive, I6 and I5, all three are positive because they are coming toward the junction, and the remaining one is I2, then I3, then I4. These are negative because they are moving away from the junction. So in algebraic sum format, I can write the all currents like this. Like this, I can write this equation so that we will get the final value sigma I. Means this is the algebraic sum, and the sign represent us about the value of current, means that which current is moving toward the junction or away the junction by using sign convention rule. So the total current means sigma I. That sigma I is equal to this value, and this one is equal to 0. We know that by the definition. Clear, student? So if this one is equal to 0, so I can rewrite this equation, which is equal to I1, then this which you have seen, which is equal to sigma I. Once again I can write, and I will give you one result which tell us about the conservation in this condition. So here, if I will carry this value equal to this, means I1, I6, I5, all positive taken together, all negative taken together in another side. So it will be I2, I3 and I4. So from this result, what we will observe? We will observe from this result the total current which is toward the junction is equal to the total current which is away from the junction. Means we can write here total current flowing toward the junction is equal to total current flowing away from the junction. Got it? So from these two, what we will observe here, we will see for any junction point, the total current which is coming toward the junction is equal to the total current away from the junction. It means that there is no current which will store at this junction point. After this result, we can say that from the above discussion, we can say that hence no current is stored at junction, because the total current flowing toward the junction is equal to the total current away from the junction. Got it? There is no current is stored at a junction, hence no point or junction in the circuit such that it act as the source or sink of charge. Means that there is no point or no junction in the given circuit which will store the charge, okay, at junction point. Hence in this law, hence in Kirchhoff's, or you can say hence Kirchhoff's first law conserves the electric charge, or you can say Kirchhoff's first law obeys the conservation of charge. Got it, student? So this is the brief discussion about the Kirchhoff's circuital law, in which we have discussed about Kirchhoff's first law, current law, and after that we will talk here about the second law, which is Kirchhoff's voltage law or loop law or Kirchhoff's second law. Okay, so this one is the value of the electric current which is toward the circuit or toward the junction and which is away from the junction. So after that we will talk here about the next law, which is called Kirchhoff's second law. So for that, pause the video and note down. Now after that, student, you can see the diagram, which is the diagram of Kirchhoff's second law. So here the new heading is Kirchhoff's second law. Kirchhoff's second law, or it is also known as Kirchhoff's voltage law or loop law. So in this law, it states that, you can see the diagram, it states that about the voltage, about the EMF and the product of electric current and the corresponding resistance. You can see it is also known as loop law or voltage law or Kirchhoff's second law or Kirchhoff's circuital law also. Closed circuit we are taking here. So in this law, you can say it states that the algebraic sum, remember this point, the algebraic sum of the change in the potential difference between the terminal of a closed circuit comma containing cells and the resistances is containing in a loop is equal to 0. It means that we can say the change in potential delta V, the algebraic sum of the change in potential for a closed circuit which is having cells of EMF E1, E2, E3 and the resistance of R1, R2, R3 and so on, which is equal to 0. And dear student, as you know that from the relation V is equals to E minus IR, from this relation we can write, if suppose we are talking here about the algebraic sum of change in algebraic sum of change in EMF, algebraic sum of change in voltage. So that change in voltage means we are talking here about the potential difference which is noted by V. So that time this can be written as algebraic sum of E, and if I will write this negative symbol along with them, because here we are talking about the algebraic sum, so this formula can be written as IR. Got it? So here we can write this value is equal to this value. Now if we can say, if we have cells of EMF, imagine E1, E2 dot 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 up to En, and the product of, from this relation, the product of current and resistance, corresponding resistance, says is I1 R1 comma I2 R2 dot 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 IN RN, like this. So the first equation can be written as, therefore by KCL second, Kirchhoff's circuital law second, we can say sigma epsilon, which is called EMF, plus sigma, the product of current and their corresponding resistance, is equal to 0 with the help of this relation. Now this we can write. Got it? Now after this we can see here delta V is equal to 0. So the second law of Kirchhoff obey the law of conservation of energy of charge. Got it? So it obeys the conservation of energy. Obey conservation in first, that law obeyed about the conservation of charge, and this law obey the conservation of energy of the charge. It means the change in the energy of the charge after the charge completes a closed path must be 0. Okay, so we can say Kirchhoff's second law follows from the electrostatic follows from the electrostatic force which is conservative and the total work done in a closed path equals to 0 by this force. Means we can see about here the conservation of energy. It means that the Kirchhoff's second law obey the conservation of energy in which the total amount of work done will be 0, as we have delta V is equal to 0 and we know that V is equal to W upon Q. If we want to write here dW is equals to algebraic sum of all type of work done, total work done will be 0. So here it obey the conservation of energy by the conservative force. Got it? So after that we will talk here about the calculation of this result from the given diagram. We have two cells of EMF E1 E2 and the resistances R1 R2 and R3 are the EMF of cells and the resistances. In arm, suppose this is our AB, this one is our CD, this is our A, B, C, D, E, F suppose. In the arm resistance, in the arm A, B, E, F, comma D, C respectively. Got it? So this is the basic information from the given diagram, and you can assume it is equal to I3. So from the given diagram we can continue the condition here. Here, dear student, we will take the clockwise or anti-clockwise movement to identify the relation between EMF and the product of current and the individual corresponding resistance. So for this condition I am taking here the sign convention. By sign convention, as we are taking here clockwise or anti-clockwise movement, so it is our one moves, we can read it as one move. So by sign convention, if one moves from negative to positive, first we can say one moves from negative to positive terminal of cell, means increasing potential, of the cell. Then EMF is taken as negative, whereas if one moves from positive to negative terminal, then E is taken as positive. First point. Second, if the direction of one moves, means the direction of this movement which we are taking, if we are moving along the direction of anti-clockwise movement, if we are moving along the direction of clockwise movement, if the direction of motion which we have taken, one moves, if the direction of we can write like this, the product of current and its corresponding resistance is taken as positive if one moves along the direction of current, whereas in opposite sense it is taken as negative. Got it? Means that the product of I1 and R1 will be positive if our direction and the direction of current in the given arm will be same. It is taken as negative if the direction of ones is opposite to the direction of current in the given respective arm. Got it? So we will solve this thing. Just wait. So these are the two key points or the two rules. Two rules by sign convention. Two rules are as follows, which we will obey in the Kirchhoff's second law. Got it? So these are the laws. So after these two laws we will solve the question, and we will give the relation by which we will obtain the total, the algebraic sum of total EMF is equal to the algebraic sum of the current, the product of current and their corresponding resistance. Got it? So see, after that we will talk here about the next lines. So from the given diagram and given discussion we can continue the topic. Now I can opt the closed loop or circuit. Given information is enough. Now we can start the next lines. Now see student, from the given diagram, you can see in closed path or loop, namely we can say BADC, B, or you can say ADCBA also, no problem. If you have any doubt you can say ADCBA also. Got it, student? Now see, our movement is clockwise or anti-clockwise? Tell me. It is anti-clockwise movement. Anti-clock movement. Okay, so from this diagram you can see here the movement is anti-clockwise as we have discussed, and by using sign convention we can see here if ones move from negative to positive of cell, then the E1 will be negative, as I told you. And the second one, in this arm, you can see the arm AB, it is moving like anti-clockwise direction, like this. So here first comes negative terminal and then positive terminal. First negative terminal of cell comes, it means that our EMF will be negative, and after that in this arm you can see the product of I1 and R1 will be positive, because here the current direction and our movement direction will be same. Now come to the next arm, here no resistance, no EMF. Now we can see the arm DC, where the direction of movement, which is anti-clockwise, same as the direction of electric current, which is I3. So I can write plus I3 and their corresponding resistance, which we have here R3. So I can write like this, is equal to, this is the algebraic sum which we have done earlier, like this. Clear, student? So we can write equal to 0 for this, where for this closed path ADCBA. Now we can readjust the things. E1 goes to that side, is equal to I1 R1 plus I3 R3. This is our equation number 1. Now we will go the next loop, which is now the big loop AEFBA. Now the closed loop will give a relation. We want to give a relation E1 and E2, so that's why I have taken first time this single loop, and in second time I will take the complete one. So this one, you can take this one also, A, that time EFBA, this one, student. So see, again I am taking here this one, first loop, means the direction of first loop, which is anti-clockwise direction. So here in closed loop, namely AEF big loop, which I have drawn. So in this condition you will see here, ignore this one, because when you will discuss about the large one, your diagram appearance like that, you will see about only these part, the middle part will be invisible in this condition. Got it? So this one, this is the way, and you know the arm in which I1 current, R1 resistance, and here I2 current, and this one is R2. So see for that, and this is our E2 and this is our E1, we know very well. Or we can say one more thing, either you can use this arm, or let's see what comes in next. Either we have one more option, for the loop second, we can see now. See in this arm, from the top we can see E1 will be again negative, because it is going from negative to positive terminal, and here it will be positive because it is going from positive to negative, plus I1 R1 taken as positive, and this one I2 R2 will taken as negative, because the direction of movement is opposite to the direction of current. I2 R2 is equal to 0. So by readjusting the things, we can write like that, taking negative sign common. So we can write I1 R1, if I will take negative sign common, I1 R1 plus I2 R2 is equal to 0. If I readjust the things, it will be like this. This one will be negative, or we can write the things like this also. equals to I2 R2 minus I1 R1. If I will take the algebraic sum format, it is written as like this. So we can use algebraic sum symbol here and here also. It implies this. So from this calculation we will get the value of the product of current and their corresponding resistance is equal to the algebraic sum of the all EMF of the of the cell. So here we can say, therefore the algebraic sum of all EMFs in closed circuit or loop is equal to the product, the algebraic sum of the product of algebraic sum of the product of current and resistance, corresponding resistance. Got it? So this is the result which we have observed by the calculation of Kirchhoff's second law. So you can use this loop also, by which you can write the same equation which I have obtained, like E1 means EMF of first cell. Similarly you can obtain the second one equation which is for EMF of second cell when you will take the turn in clockwise direction. Got it? So this one is the result. So the algebraic sum obtained by adjusting the things. Got it, student? So remember this point and note down.